my name is Ingrid Dehart, and today we're going to make spinach zucchini roll-ups with a cashew basil cheese. Now this dish is wonderful to serve as an appetizer any time of the year, or you can have it in the summertime as a main dish along with a side salad because it's really delicious and satisfying. There's very little work involved in this dish, but you have to plan in advance because you need to soak the nuts and marinate the spinach. So let me show you how to do that for starters. We're going to be using macadamia nuts here. And I love macadamia nuts because they're full of monounsaturated fatty acids, which actually reduce the LDL cholesterol in your body. So we're going to put that in a bowl to soak. And I'm also going to use some cashews. You can either use macadamias and cashews, all macadamias or all cashews, whatever you think is best. But I like the macadamias because it's a really good fat. So you just put it in water and let that soak for at least 4 hours. You can do it overnight in the refrigerator if it's hot. Now we're going to go on to marinating the spinach. So we have here 4 cups of spinach, and you want to remove all the stems because they don't marinate up as well as the leaves. So you take your spinach, you put it into a bowl, and you add 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of olive oil. Oops, a little too much. And about 1 teaspoon each of oregano and thyme, dried oregano and thyme. And then you use your hands and mix that all together and actually massage the spinach because that is going to break down the cell walls. And it's like cooking the spinach, but without any heat. And then we're going to set this aside to marinate for at least 1 hour to take this big amount of spinach, and it's going to come out to something really small, which is great because then you get to eat all this spinach in a very concentrated form, and you get all the nutrients from the spinach. Now we're ready to make the cashew basil cheese, and we're going to do that in a food processor. So here we have the nuts that we soaked and rinsed and drained. We put that into the food processor, and then we're going to add about 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 cup of fresh basil, about 1 teaspoon of chopped garlic, a little bit of lemon juice, and some nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast is what gives it the cheesy flavor, and it's a vegetarian yeast. And okay, so we're ready to blend. Okay, so you may have to scrape down the sides of the food processor a couple of times and also add in a little water to get a smooth consistency. And your cashew basil cheese is done when it's smooth and creamy. You don't want to have any particles of nuts in it. So here we have our spinach that's been marinating for an hour, and you can see that big 4 cups of spinach is down to just this little bit. And I just love that because you get to eat all the nutrients from the spinach without having to have a lot of bulk. So now we're going to make the zucchini rolls, and we're going to use my favorite tool, which is a mandolin. And you can buy a mandolin off of Amazon or many different stores. And for this particular dish, we want the zucchini to be quite thin, so we're going to make the adjustment to be very thin. So you cut off the front and back ends of the zucchini, and then test out your size because you want it to be so that you can roll it. And you see, this is good because you can roll it up without it breaking. If it's too thick, it's going to break. So you're going to use up the whole zucchini for this one. And if you can get wider zucchini, it's better and evenly sized. You see, like this one, it's more or less even from top to bottom as opposed to getting thinner on the top of the bottom. And that gives you more even slices. So you're going to mandolin slice all of your zucchinis to get ready to make the rolls. Okay, now that everything is ready, we're going to start to roll. So you have your zucchini slices. So you can put a bunch of them out on a cutting board. So what you do is you take a couple of zucchini slices and you spread the cashew basil cheese along the slice, and you want to leave a little bit of space at the end because when you roll it up, it may ooze out a little bit. And I like to do them sort of in assembly line, like prepare all of them in advance and then, a bunch of them in advance, like 4 or 5, and then roll all at the same time. Just saves time. This one's got a little too much on it. And then you take the spinach, put a little bit on the end, and we're ready to roll. Starting at this end, you start rolling, rolling, rolling. And you see when it gets to the end, it sort of oozes up to the top, and you put it on your plate. And again, rolling, rolling, rolling. Push it all the way to the top, and put it on the plate. And you just keep doing that until all of your zucchini are used up, all of your spinach is used up, and all of your cashew cheese is used up. Now that these are done, you can serve them either plain or they're very nice with a raw or cooked tomato sauce to dip them into. And if you want the recipe, you can go to my website, eatwellenjoylife.com, click on blog, and you'll see them there. Thanks. Bye-bye now.